because I need to hit live there. Oh, well, hi there. We are live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good morning. What's going on?
I just want to list two quick benefits of doing this at night, early in the morning for you. More
Okay.
food for me.
More food for you.
Yeah, this is. I don't know if you could see this, but this is
Oh, what is that?
banana minatamis.
For
Not
dinner?
too bright. Well, for dessert.
Dessert already. Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
6:30. It's 7:30 pala.
Right.
That's hold on. Banana in sweet syrup?
Yeah, minatamis. It's like drenched in brown sugar.
Don't say it like that. Brown sugar. Oh.
Can I hey, brown sugar?
let, let me start the show. Two guys from two worlds. This is the flip side. New episodes uploaded on YouTube every Wednesdays and Saturdays. Now, your hosts, Jay and Noel. Magandang umaga, bayan.
We say two worlds because this guy's not here and this guy's over here. And stuff goes down,
In each
never know
side.
what's going on. Hey,
It's so
speaking of
funny. Oh,
listen,
sorry.
let's
Go
let's
ahead.
let's get right to it. Sorry to cut you off, but
No,
let's
no, you're
get right
fine.
to it. I want to get these all out of the way. Um yeah, so we're both Filipinos, high school uh, classmates trying to catch up usually with stuff happening around the world. Now, I wanted to mention this one first before we get into Jokoy and all the other juicy stuff that you mentioned. So there was a plane crash that I think you were the one that brought it up a couple of days ago, first or second day of January, plane
In
crash in
Japan.
Japan, right?
Yep.
And there were a couple of reviews that I was looking into. There's this video that I was following up on, basically analyzing the plane crash,
Mm-hmm.
and they were saying that culture mattered in the Haneda plane crash, meaning
Haneda
basically,
plane crash.
yeah, meaning basically, I think what they were saying was that it wouldn't have turned out the same way. Maybe, I mean, because it was a Japanese crew, Japanese everything. I mean, they were
Mm-hmm.
tourists, but basically, who was handling the emergency was Japanese.
Okay.
Trying to look how to share the screen again here.
If you go to the
Oh,
bottom, I just want to point out as well that the pilots actually survived in this.
mm-mm.
Both pilots.
Yes, and the interesting thing is, of course, they were both like pointing fingers at each other, that
Yeah.
whose fault it was. So there, I just wanted to share that I came across this video. I don't have to play it; you guys can watch it yourselves. But it's why culture mattered in the Haneda plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just listening, and then like at the end of the video, I'm realizing, but if the passengers were Filipino,
Hoy, putang ina, kasalanan mo yan.
because one of the things that they were saying that these people were good enough not to get their belongings, not to get their stuff.
Right. Right.
But here, I mean, kung nangyari yan dito, I mean, excuse me, but let's speak the truth. If it happened here, these we wouldn't be falling in line. Number one, and number two, we're not going to be leaving our stuff behind, especially our cell phones.
I
So,
can understand that with the cell phones and their purses, actually, but
mm,
I've never really experienced. You mean to tell me like Filipinos would definitely lunge over to get their bags and whatnot?
oh, we would be on top of each other,
Really?
coming out through the windows, trying to come out through the window. I mean, like obviously we can't go out through the window, but some of us would
Right.
be in such like panic in such a way that, oh, speaking of panic, did you hear about the alien invasion sighting thing in Miami?
Yeah, that's propaganda, and that's come on, dude. I saw that. That was the first thing that came out into my feed a couple of days ago. I completely ignored it.
We'll circle back around that, but basically that's what I wanted to share about. Or I don't really have like any other deeper cultural Filipino dad kind of thoughts about that, but I was just thinking that,
Right.
It was an interesting take on the accident. That yeah, culture mattered in what happened.
Right, right,
In a sense that how would we react if that happened to us here in Philippines? But so kidding aside, yeah. So mag-uunahan tayo would be pushing and shoving each other because we don't know how to fall in line,
right.
and then when we do get out, just to circle back, and I'm thinking when we do get out, we'd be like, "Hey, wait, pero si ano yung kamag-anak natin." So we're gonna go back inside the airplane and then help each other out.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean? So we'd panic first, jump out, like, sige, tulakan na, bahala na kayo dyan. When we get out, ay, yung kaibigan ko si Jason, nakalimutan ko. I'll go
Literally
back inside.
every man for himself.
First
Correct.
2 minutes would be every man for himself for the Filipinos, probably. And then when we get out, we realize that we forgot our friends and relatives back inside the airplane, and then we'd go
Right.
back inside and help out. So I'm not saying that we won't help out, except that we would panic first, I think.
I think it's more like we want to make sure that we're okay to help out and then first and then help out.
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
noticed that. I know we're dragging on this particular discussion, but I remember there was a boat or a ferry in the Philippines that was sinking,
Mm.
and literally everybody jumped off. Once they realized they're kind of in the clear, they started to go back to try to help others.
Yeah,
I kind of
exactly.
noticed that. Although I did notice that a lot of them were really clinging on to their little belongings. Come on.
Diba?
Yeah,
Diba? So
yeah,
yun eh.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't want to get all razzed up. I think I have such a different attitude about it. Like early in the morning, I'd be like whining about it and like, yeah, Filipinos. But like throughout the rest of the day, like now at night that we're
Hmm.
doing this at night, I'm all like, yeah, but we'll be all right. So then, speaking of dragging on, Jason, I'm sure you're itching to talk about this.
Which
Uh,
one?
by the way, I would like to acknowledge that we did talk about like the China thing last week. That we said that we would mention it. We'll see. We'll see if we get
We'll
around
get
to
to
it.
it. We'll get to
But
it.
we gotta get this Golden Globes thing out of the way, man. Speaking of dragging and
Yeah,
speaking of Filipinos,
absolutely. So the other day, this past weekend, actually, 3 days ago now, it was on Sunday. This past Sunday, I believe it was the 7th of this month, Golden Globes 2024 was held. The host was our very own Filipino comedian Joe Coy.
did you know that he was going to host it? I think you mentioned it here one time.
I actually found out a few days prior. Now, that's the crazy thing. I'm telling you this right now, okay? Because it does matter. Joe Coy literally was offered the gig and signed the contract 10 days prior to the Golden
Mm,
Globes. Prior.
mm, mm.
Okay. So it's kind of when you're put onto when you're put onto a gig this big and kind of this important, okay, how does one prepare for it? A lot of comedians used to host these gigs, okay, and they basically told people or interviewers time and time again that they take the time to go in there and prepare, you know, especially nowadays where everybody is pretty much just downright sensitive. Okay,
But before we even get into that, the Jokoy part,
right,
step back another 10 days before the 10 days.
hmm.
Is it even true that nobody was taking the gig? That's why they just like had to get
Right.
him last minute, or somebody had to do it last minute?
Nobody wanted to take the job. All right, it was really hard to find somebody to host this show. First of all, again, a lot of these people are comedians to begin with. A lot of these hosts, they're comedians and whatnot. And Golden Globes, the whatever, they approached a number of comedians, and they got very, I guess, sensitive about it or conscious about it because it's kind of tough hosting these shows. It's really tough hosting these shows, actually, because you have to be mindful of everybody's emotions and feelings and sensitivity and whatnot.
Well, let's say it's simpler because you're catering to the privileged crowd.
Yes, you're catering to the 1% of the 1% of the industry. It's insane, you know? But here's the crazy thing. Well, first of all, did you watch it, the monologue to begin with? The one
Yeah,
that I sent you?
opportunity of a lifetime, man.
Yes. I watched it as well, and to be honest with you, I watched it multiple times, at least 4 times, just because I wanted to get a better understanding of Joe Coy's reactions and what everybody is saying. All right.
Right.
Honestly, it looked a little bit uncomfortable. He got uncomfortable. He started off pretty good. After the first joke, to be honest with you, he just looked uncomfortable throughout. And I think he got maybe he got worried. I don't know. I think he got pissed off is what it is. You know, his
Yeah.
jokes wasn't flowing through, and
If he
uh,
was bombing, all that I could say is like, I don't know, was he insulting the audience? But don't whine or complain about it, or make
that's what I'm
excuses and say,
saying.
I just got this 10 days ago. Okay, what do you
Right.
expect? That
Uh,
was the thing that got me so uncomfortable.
exactly. That's the one that gave me the ick factor because he got too defensive, too quick, and it seems like he didn't give the audience the opportunity, really. But at the same time, it was just rough for the audience. I think one of the biggest factors there is they don't really know him.
Yeah,
He's not as well known as like Jimmy Kimmel or Chris Rock or whatever that hosted these award shows or Kevin
it's
Hart.
big on Netflix, but not on regular TV. Maybe
Exactly.
where all these people operate.
He's still not in that big Hollywood level. I don't think. You know what I mean? And
But it
him
was
hosting this, I don't think anybody really knows him that well or as much of him. And they did not. Man, he made these he made these jokes that were funny. I think they were funny. I think they were regular jokes. You know, there were a lot
mm,
of laughs, but there are some people that obviously did not take well into it, and he got defensive really quick. The idea
some
of him saying, "Well, oh, these jokes that you're laughing at, that's the one that I wrote," you know,
right. Some of those jokes and yeah, that comment got me my eyebrows like, hmm?
right, right,
But all the time though, I'm thinking, okay, it's all right, it's all right. He's gonna pick himself up because he's Filipino. You know, we're rallying for him. You know,
yeah.
he's got it. He's gonna pick it up.
I
And
don't
then I
know
was like,
why he. I'm
that
sorry.
was
Go ahead.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. I was like, that was it. And then it cut to something else, and then the show went on, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
My thing lang was that I wish there were more sort of Filipino jokes, or I wish there were more cultural jokes
He missed on that. I believe he missed out on that. I was actually about to say that. Okay.
versus like right because like yeah, you could tell with some of the topics or some of the writing, it was like trying to like poke fun at the audience or poke fun. I mean, that's what they do.
He definitely grilled on the audience, but mainly the white audience. You
But
know.
yeah, I think he missed out on an opportunity to like yeah, like he was saying, like represent Filipino, like that kind
Right.
of thing. But I mean, as a comedian, that would have been his opportunity. Maybe talk about his mom again, or talk about educate the audience what a tabo is, for
Right.
example.
Right. Right. I think he definitely missed out on that. Like you said, I agree with you 1000%. He had this perfect platform and an opportunity to really express out what he's been delegating on or talking about Filipino pride and getting the Filipino word out there and showing the Filipino talent. If he talked about probably the tabo thing, that probably would have been funny. I'm sure they
Yeah.
would have understood that. You know,
But I could also empathize with him though, in a sense that, gosh, like this is happening in 10 days. You're sort of in a panic
exactly.
and you're excited and you kind of, I don't know if the word is getting it over your head or that it's just like way too much for him or whatever. I mean, I,
I
I
don't think
just
it was way
remember
too much for him. I think he definitely just catered at a certain specific audience. He tried to attend to a specific audience immediately, mainly actually. I don't know if I'm projecting that right. You know, he
like
really
parang,
tried to get himself to like people to like him, basically.
like you're for like parang not to insult, but parang he forgot that he was Filipino and then he was trying to cater to the Golden Globes
Right,
audience
right,
and
right,
forgot about the being Filipino part.
right. I think it you nailed it on the head there. That he definitely should have catered or used that platform to use his Filipino jokes more.
I mean, it's not to say what he should have been talking about. It's not to say that he should have done the Filipino thing, but
Hmm.
kumbaga to be safe or to be sure, because that's the platform or that's the topic or the arena that he's known for,
Hmm.
and then kind of sort of bounce off of that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
instead of like stabbing at people out of nowhere just
You
because,
know how when Filipinos come to the States and they're doing something new and then they overexert themselves,
yeah,
they
that's one way to
overdo.
put it.
Yeah, because they're trying to make
Makibagay.
sure that they fit in.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how it felt like for Jokoi watching him on stage. It seemed like he was
yeah.
trying too so hard, or he's doing everything he can to be considered as one of them, to be part of them. I'm not saying
Mm-mm,
that's what he's doing, but that's
mm-mm.
what it looked like. That's how it felt watching him.
Yeah, that's what the jokes felt like. But again, the one that gave me a bitter taste or a bitter feeling about it was when he started showing that he was getting upset that
Yeah.
people were not laughing.
Right, right,
Kulang na
right.
lang. It's like he was short of saying, "It's like these jokes are funny. Why aren't you guys laughing?"
Right.
Ah,
That really gave me the ick factors. Like the first time he said that, I took this job 10 days ago, guys. Would you guys expect a perfect monologue? I was like, whoa, relax,
yeah,
back off a little bit, you know?
yeah.
I was like,
Or he could have said the same line, guys. I realized the jokes are not funny. I only got this gig 10 days ago. Sorry about that.
right, right. He could have
But
like
yung
dulled
tono,
it down.
it was just the tone. It was just the way that he said it that made it
Yeah,
parang, yeah, we're cool. It's all right. Like for me, I don't even expect you to be funny. I just expect you to stand there and make everybody feel comfortable.
right,
Maybe,
right,
maybe there
right,
was just extra factor of being a comedian or
right,
an extra pressure of being a comedian and having that means I have to be funny. Maybe you don't have to be funny. Maybe that's the
right.
lesson learned. Like, yeah, maybe you don't
Now,
have to be funny.
I don't. He it was already rough watching him. I'm not saying he did a good job, but I don't think. Like I said, I think he missed an opportunity and he
Yeah.
kind of lost his patience.
I'm
Definitely.
happy. I'm happy. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he got the gig, and I'm
Correct.
sure he'll
So am
be
I.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he'll be all right. But I guess as a fellow, I guess host also every now and then, or what, or even this podcast or whatever, it was just a
Right.
lesson in terms of, yeah, you're an amateur at it, but you don't like. Basta yun. For me, that was my the lesson that I learned. It's like don't
Right.
get mad at your audience. Like,
Yeah. He
don't
really
scold
did project that, right?
don't scold your audience
Right.
and maybe I've heard that before, but as an audience member watching it, parang that's what it felt like, oh, that's why you don't yell at your audience, because it makes everybody else feel uncomfortable.
Right. Right. Right.
So
I
I
don't.
guess so you're there not to make everybody laugh, you're there to make everybody feel comfortable. That's the
Correct.
basics, and then if you
Correct.
get laughs on top of that, it's like cherry on top. Ex-
Exactly. That's the cherry
Extra
on
na
top.
lang yun,
Uh.
or icing, that's icing on the cake, but I think the basics really is to make everybody feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now,
Yun.
I don't appreciate how a lot of these people are just completely grilling him about this stuff. You know,
Oh yeah.
it's just way too. It's gotten to a point. I'm not gonna name names or who's saying what, but apparently there's a lot of people that are comparing to his monologue or his jokes to a racist rant against white people. I'm like, what? You know?
Uh
Let me
uh
let me share you this clip that I found on YouTube about basically that exactly. All right, if we just can take a look at this real quick.
what you got? Yeah, I think I saw this.
Hmm.
Can't hear it though.
You can't hear it.
No. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. Some of the Twitter comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't hear it.
Yeah. Sorry. So it's it was pretty bad how these guys just. Oh, sorry. I apologize.
No, 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 it's all right. The one that I'm about to share though is
Go ahead. Go ahead.
these newscasters.
Yeah.
But the one that they're ranting about this one are his royal family jokes. Let's see if we could play this one
Yeah.
if it'll play. But yeah.
It was no surprise to many that Oppenheimer was a big winner at the Golden Globes Awards last night, taking home 5 awards, including the top prize.
But some eyebrows were raised by the comedian and host Joe Coy, one of the worst hosts I've ever seen or heard, by the way.
Wow.
Silly swipe
Really?
Let's have a listen.
Yeah. I mean,
I
he
mean-
goes on like he goes on this rant. This guy on the left goes
Or
on
is
this
it-
rant about how
Right.
much he hated, and plus, the royal family. I guess
I guess. Yeah.
the British are like really like you don't get to joke about the royal family. Only British people get to joke about the royal family.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you stay in your lane, Filipino boy.
I don't understand why. I mean, for some of these celebrities that starts commenting and saying that it was racist, really racist towards the white community and whatnot. I mean, come on, guys. How many comedians out there have in hosting these shows? By the way, okay, like the Oscars or the Academy Awards and Golden Globes, even the Emmys, right? I mean, does anybody remember Chris Rock when he hosted, or or Gervais, the white comedian, what's his name? Gervais, Ricky Gervais. Okay, I mean those guys did not hold back, And I'm sorry, it seems like it's okay to make jokes about black people or whatnot or other cultures, but when a comedian all of a sudden makes jokes about white people, it's racist. Hello, come on, relax.
Yeah. I don't know if it's also the times. I don't know if it was because it was the 90s and early 2000s. Maybe because the humor has changed now. I don't know what it is.
Well, yeah, everybody's a lot more sensitive nowadays in regards to it. But if you really, really listen to the monologue and the jokes that he did, I'm sorry. Okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
We've heard far worse jokes or more racist jokes that were said during the Academy Awards or the Golden Globes by Chris Rock or Ricky Gervais or whatnot, like I said earlier. Far worse than what Jokoi said. And then all of a sudden he's being labeled as a racist. Come on, dude.
Maybe it's because they don't know him.
I think that's what that is.
You don't have a license to make fun of us yet. We don't know you yet.
You're not part of us yet.
Yeah,
You're not in our level.
You're just from Netflix. You haven't, you don't have a movie.
Right.
You're not hosting a late night show yet, so you don't get to make those kinds of jokes.
It was kind of gutsy for him to go after like Martin Scorsese a little bit. I mean, even that wasn't a big deal, It's not a huge bad joke, but they turned it around and make it seem like he's attacking everybody. I'm like, he's not. Also, what he was saying and the comments that he was saying about Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs. Come on, that was a dig to begin with on the Kansas City Chiefs, from what I understood. Because it seems like the Kansas City Chiefs were using Taylor Swift and like flipping on her all the time, like as like a whatever. But it's I don't know how to explain that, but that's how I read that joke. That has nothing to do, or it wasn't like a big dig on Taylor Swift.
Or a lot of it, yeah, yun lang eh. I think it was really just the reaction, his reaction to the people not laughing. I think that's really what made it really uncomfortable.
I think so
And
too.
Maybe dare I say the word unprofessional. Parang it could have been just like, oh, that joke didn't land. Maybe we should move on to the next one. You don't like spend like 30 seconds, 15 seconds lecturing your audience how that's supposed to be funny.
Right. And then he didn't really give him the benefit of the doubt, possibly, and maybe they did get it. They just didn't think it's that funny.
Yeah, or the default would be, you make fun of yourself, like, oh, like who am I? I'm just a Filipino guy hosting the Golden Globes.
Right.
Something to make fun of himself, but not at the audience. Parang like,
Right.
basta, there was a
I hope I think when you get defensive automatically, and it shows that he was getting annoyed,
mm-mm,
people's perception changes. You know what I mean? So
mm-mm,
maybe they started thinking like, "What the hell? Who is this guy?" Like you said, you know.
yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tough gig. I can't even imagine. First of all, little disclaimer, real quick: we're not comedians whatsoever. We don't know what we're talking about in regards to doing that particular thing. But our comments and point of views are strictly from a viewer's point of view. That's it. You know.
Give me a minute here. I got lost in the Jokoy rabbit hole and found this old video of his mom,
Yeah.
like reacting to his mom jokes on stage.
Hmm.
And even that video with the mom, but I was like, instead of, I don't remember what I was thinking. I was like, nay, wag niyo nang depensahan niyo. Like she was like defending herself, what she was doing or what she was. It was just one of those things where like you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to like, just that's just the way you are. Or that's just,
Right.
you know what I mean. But she was explaining that, oh, I don't remember. I didn't really dig too much into it. Just saying that I got lost in the Jokoy rabbit hole of watching his old videos.
Right.
But I think it's a lot of it has to do with he didn't like he could have or should have maybe settled on the fact or made the most out of the fact that a lot of people don't know him, and he missed on the whole Filipino thing that I think he could have
Hmm.
hung on to as his sort of lifeline or as his like default.
Oh.
Could have been his default could have been his default set or joke sort
Right.
of topic, this whole cultural thing.
Yeah.
And which
Yeah.
is which is what I think made him so endearing. Well, the movies that he's done
Yeah. Hmm.
or produced, and the jokes that he does. I mean, people do that. I mean, identify him through that.
Right. Right. Right.
And maybe the Filipino community isn't that big enough for it to spread to the Golden Globes. What do I know? Pero yun parang you still stick to that because like, you get us sucked into your world. You don't have to ponder to our world, like
Hmm.
our world meaning I'm part of the Golden Globes. But diba,
Yeah.
parang
But
I think
like you
that's
said,
where he missed the mark.
yeah, like you said earlier, though, he definitely, it seems like he missed the opportunity to put that Filipino presence, especially the jokes, into that platform. Because honestly, yes, he's doing all these Filipino jokes and whatnot on Netflix or YouTube or whatever, or he's touring, right? It's great.
Mm.
People
Mm-mm.
love him. What's not to love about him? He's a good entertainer, good comedian, right? But in a way, this is like a bigger stage where, okay, these are the 1% of your industry. That a good opportunity for you to use this platform and introduce that to that culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have done that. But there are a lot of people that did, or there are some that I've heard of that are actually going into the public eye and defending Joe Coy on this, because it isn't an easy gig. They definitely understand this. Like, for example, you saw that little clip that I tried to put out where we're going to share it real quick. Whoopi Goldberg was defending Joe Coy about it. Also, Howard Stern. They've actually publicly discussed his performance
Oh.
or his show on their own podcast or their shows.
Oh, that's interesting. I want to see that. But I think
Yeah.
what's really more interesting, I mean, I'm just harping on the fact that he was the one that hosted it, but I think what's
Right.
really more interesting really is that nobody wanted to host it. I think that's more interesting.
Yeah. It's like
I mean,
like putting yourself into like when you host nowadays. Like I can't remember that comedian that said hosting these kind of shows is like
yeah.
gambling and playing Russian roulette with your career. Somebody said that. I can't
Oh,
remember.
wow.
Yeah. Oh man, I just literally heard it yesterday too. There was an
Here we are, criticizing the guy that was in the arena, right?
Yeah.
But what about those guys that didn't even want to step in? Diba?
well, That's a different aspect though. It's hard to put that on them as well or against them because
Yeah.
they
No, 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 no.
realize the gravity of something like this.
Yun
Like
nga, is it Russian roulette on your career, or they just didn't support a show like this?
yeah, well, I don't know, but this comedian, I can't remember his name. Shit, like I said, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna post it on the show later. Right? He really said that going and hosting these gigs is like playing a Russian roulette with your career.
Let's see what Whoopi Goldberg
So
has to
yeah,
say.
Whoopi Goldberg went on her show and defended and explained it pretty well. Actually, um, I think I saw it here. Maybe she's the one that said it, or was it Howard Stern? Hold, let's take a look at this real quick. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you could hear it. Okay, I'm about to play
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Gigs are brutal.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg is standing up for Joe
Yeah.
Coy after his controversial Golden Globes monologue. The 68-year-old morning show co-host said she didn't watch the comedian's hosting performance on January 7th, but she did empathize with him during Monday's episode of The View, as she understands how difficult hosting an award show can be.
These gigs, these hosting gigs are brutal.
Yeah.
They're just brutal. If you don't know the room, if you've not been in these rooms before and you're sort of thrust out there, it's hit or miss. Now,
So that's actually exactly what I was trying to say earlier. It's definitely a I'm just stupid at explaining it. But it's definitely a hit or miss, and
Yeah.
especially if you don't know the crowd that you're getting into. And he did only have 10 days to prepare.
Now, I love Joe Coy. He, to me, makes me just crazy because he's funny. I don't know whether it was the room. I don't know whether it was the jokes. I didn't get to see it. But I do know that he is as good as it gets when
Yeah.
it comes to stand-up.
That's-
And
yeah.
it is not an easy gig.
Whoopi then made fun of her own past when it came to hosting, as she formerly hosted the Academy Awards 4 times in 1994, 1996, 1999, and
Wow.
2002.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if you read any of the reviews of some of the
Yes.
gigs that I've had, where they've just, wished me into the cornfield. Just, die on the vine. I mean, it's not an easy gig.
You
so
did fly
it's
in like
hard.
a queen.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's
pretty
because I
spectacular.
learned the room.
The EGOT Winners co-host Anna Navarro didn't agree with her though, but Sarah Haynes did get back on track to defend Joe as she, quote, felt bad for him.
I actually did watch it. He wasn't funny to me, but I'm not going to talk about that because there's something that was funny to me. So the Hollywood Reporter had a tweet out where they confused Justin Hartley for Glenn Powell. I think we have it. And so I just want to tell Latinos and Black people that this happens to white people too.
So as you can see, it's definitely a mixed reaction for people as well, but it's like Whoopi Goldberg said, it's a tough gig to do. We wouldn't know, we've never done it, but I can't even imagine, being in the presence of all these people that you don't know. 10 days prior, you got 10 days to try to like figure something out, put
Yeah.
something up.
No, I think Whoopi Goldberg has a good point about knowing the room or feeling the room out. But again, whether the jokes are funny or not, for me, was not the point. I mean, I'd let you get away with bad jokes, but again, don't insult the audience, or
Right.
don't insult the person listening to you because they didn't get it. Yung parang ganun eh. It's like, now you're making me feel stupid because I didn't get your joke.
I think that could be why things turned on him, though. Like you said,
I want to share something with you real quick before we move on,
Yeah.
in case you feel
Yeah.
like moving on from this topic already. There's a website. I was trying to look for that quote that you were saying about comedians saying that. What was the quote that you were saying?
Oh, that doing these gigs is like
Yeah,
playing
Yeah.
Russian roulette with your
career.
Yeah.
I came across what do you call this? A chat room here. Very dangerous of him for the audience to deliver punch. No, not that one. Very generous of him to deliver punchlines.
Filipino here. Okay.
No, there was a funny one here that he was getting. I'm getting second-hand embarrassment watching these clips.
Oh God.
but this one's a bit long one. But it says Filipino here and back in the Philippines. Many of us hated him. Many of us hated Jokoy. His whole shtick is making fun of our accent and his mother mostly, and making us appear like we're dumb and uncultured. He never had a funny bone in his body. Blah blah blah. But yeah, you guys again. I can for me, just again
Yeah.
speaking for myself here. I could forgive you for bad jokes, but don't insult the audience. Parang ganun
Yeah.
lang.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I wanted to say about it. Like, don't make it more uncomfortable than it already is.
Right. I know we're dragging long on this, but here's another person, as we all know,
I turned
Howard
on
Stern.
the TV last night to watch the Golden Globe Awards a little bit. I think Joe Coy got the gig 10 days before the Golden Globes because
Yeah,
nobody
I read
wanted.
that he said that, and I was like, well, that's weird.
Can you hear it?
To be
Yeah.
10 days out and still not have a host?
Nobody wanted to host this thing. A bunch of high-profile comedians reportedly turned down the gig, including Chris Rock. Finally, everyone's getting smart.
See, that basically answers your question earlier as well about why nobody wants to
Yeah.
host this gig.
Yeah, that's
Those shows
interesting.
are fucking difficult to do. You know,
Which
and if you
Joe
got,
Coy apparently found out.
yeah, they're panning him, but I didn't even understand. Someone said that he was mean about Taylor Swift.
The big difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL, on the Golden Globes, we have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift. I swear. There's just more to go to. Okay. Sorry about that.
And
Sorry about that.
they cut to Taylor Swift, and she gave like this mean look, stern look at him. And I thought she was joking around, but you see various media reports. I think Page 6 even put out a report saying if looks could kill. Like the Taylor Swift was actually
That's
mad
just
at
rough,
Joe Coy,
man.
which was a little
Well,
ridiculous. We
Guy
said
should have
that
come out and talked about the fact that they chose him 10 days ago because no one else in Hollywood wanted the fucking gig, and then work from there. That's the premise I would have gone with and said, no wonder no one wants this gig. Can't make fun of anybody anymore.
Exactly. You know, I mean, Chris Rock turned down the gig, for crying out loud.
Gosh, man, it's so surreal that we have Howard Stern on the show.
I felt bad for the dude because 10 days, because I've talked to Jimmy about this, and he does such a great job with the with the Academy Awards. He prepares for like 6 months. I mean, he's got a whole and Molly is the executive producer. I mean, they work their asses off on that thing. 10 days.
Yeah.
You're doomed.
Not nearly enough time. Yeah.
Standing up there and telling those jokes to a bunch of people who don't want to be laughed at is the biggest bummer in the world. That's why I always praise Jimmy and the job he does with it, because Hollywood has no sense of humor about itself. And those people in that audience do not want to be made fun of. They're very concerned about their image and their publicist. I mean, if you're shelling out 25, 30% of your income on publicists and agents and managers, you don't want to be goofed on television. You want to be treated like the serious actor, like you're doing the most important shit on the planet. So to go up there and be the host of the Golden Globes, it's a ridiculous gig. You got to sit there and goof on people, but goof on them in such a pleasant way that they're like smiling afterwards. Oh, that was nice. Like, I was watching this guy do his thing last night, and he was talking about Robert De Niro, and Robert De Niro was laughing hysterically like he was in the movie Cape Fear, and you're like, gee, De Niro could have been just, stone cold, like, nasty during it.
Yeah.
But he seemed to like it, but you never know. I mean, who wants to play Russian roulette on live television with your career?
There you go. That's he's the one I heard it from.
Right.
It's he made it, obviously he's Howard Stern. Shit, he knows what he's talking about. But he made a perfect point in regards to how Hollywood does not want to be made fun of anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. But you know what? I also just realized that Joe Coy should have done the Filipino thing and just be hospitable.
Your typical Filipino demeanor, right?
Yeah, like hello po, good evening po.
Good evening po.
just play it safe, and but yun, he was trying too hard to be funny.
Like I said earlier, he was trying too hard to be accepted.
Trying to be pushing the envelope too far, and it's become, I guess, awkward or insulting with other people, and
Right.
maybe he knew that it was uncomfortable like that, and he was just trying to poke fun at it. But instead of making it funny, it starts to become like hostile, or it starts to become like
He got
insulting.
Yeah.
Annoyed.
He got annoyed.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's where I mean, again, bad jokes aside, that's forgivable. It was, for me, it was the ad libs in between that was showing that he was getting upset. That
Some of the jokes, honestly, were not bad. I think he did a decent job considering he
Yeah.
only got 10 days notice.
But
10
he was
days.
the thing was, it's not that the jokes weren't funny. It's that, and like I said, like I would agree with you. Parang ako naman, parang it didn't matter whether it was funny or not. It was, the whole idea was just to survive, just to get through the bit.
Right.
But I think yun is what made it uncomfortable, was that he would react to the people not laughing.
Yeah.
Or
I
he would,
think
like, make, diba? It's TV.
Yeah.
They could just add the laughter, the fake laughter, and the edit.
I think it's not that. I think you made a good point on that. He should have just concentrated on the laughs that he was getting instead of lashing out. That's what he did. He lashed out. Jesus.
in a very Golden Globes kind of way. So
Touche. And the Emmy nominee for best. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say of that. We're done with this.
Nice of you to find that Howard Stern bit and the what do you call this, Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, yeah.
That's true also.
Yeah, I didn't want to just comment and talk about people giving him a hard time and whatnot, but that there are people in that high level in Hollywood that do understand and relate to what Joe Coy did or how Joe Coy did.
Yeah.
I don't knock him for it. I love him. I'm gonna watch him whenever I can or if I can and whatnot. I will support him 1,000%. Not because he's a Filipino, but the fact that I enjoy his entertainment, his shows, and whatnot. But he should have definitely taken a different direction and not be too defensive about it. It looked like he was. I think I'm gonna stick to my point where I said earlier, he looked like one of those Filipinos that was trying to be too hard to be accepted.
The last thing that I would say about it was, again, thanks for sharing the Whoopi Goldberg and Howard Stern bits. But if you're looking for the opposite end of that, look at the BBC reactions. Look at the British reactions.
Jesus. That was I can't get over what that guy said.
That was just the first line. There was like a whole paragraph or a whole bunch of other stuff that they said. But basically, the whole thing was like, don't make fun of the royal people.
Right,
only
right.
British people get to laugh at that. I mean, it's, diba? Parang like we get to laugh at our own thing, but don't go over across the pond and make fun of the royal family. There was like a stab at Meghan Markle also, I think. Something
there
about
was. And Prince Harry.
Yeah, diba?
Yeah.
Parang
They're
getting paid
still
for
getting
not
paid.
doing anything.
Can you? Well,
Yeah.
truth sucks, but
Yeah, it's true. But at the same time, I think it would have been funnier if it was a British person that said it also.
yeah,
But
yeah,
maybe
definitely.
that's just me. But yun nga. So if these guys are empathizing from the US about this guy, across the pond, they're pissed. They're not happy with it. So I think it was amusing to see both, actually. If we had more time, compare the Howard Stern and Whoopi Goldberg reactions to the BBC newscasters and the British folks across the pond saying stuff
Across
about
the pond. Yeah, definitely.
reacting to his thing. But that's it. That's all I got for you.
Well, yeah, pretty much for me too. That's pretty much all I have in regards to Joe Coy and whatnot. One thing, real quick, moving on. If I could just real quick, congratulations to Kyle Kulas Jennerman of becoming Filipino. I wanted to congratulate him because he is now engaged to his longtime Filipina girlfriend, Therine. I don't know her last name, but guys, congratulations. They posted it on their social media, or he posted it on his social media a few days back, but I'm sure it happened over the holiday break or whatever, because they're in Canada right now, or they were. I don't know. They went back for the holiday, and congratulations.
Nice.
Nice, nice, nice.
Anything else that's tickling your fancy that got you out of bed this morning?
Well, jeez, there's quite a number of things that we could probably do a shotgun or quick. What do you always say? To go through it
Lightning
real
round.
quick. Lightning round.
I want to get this one out of the way. The Sweden a cappella group.
Yeah, dude.
one-
Did you see that?
Wait, hold on. The one that caught my attention about this, aside from them being good and it's cute that they're singing a Filipino song.
Right.
Do you know that I think this contest was on like last year? This is an old video. It's only like picking up virality now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I think
I didn't mention that it's that old, but
No, but for me, I don't know anything about being on the internet that much, but I guess that happens. No, but you can put something out, nobody cares, and then maybe it picks up about a year later.
yeah, it happens all the time apparently.
So I think that's what's happening to this particular video. Did you want to play it or something?
Yeah, let me share it to you. Actually, this is basically a Sweden a cappella group choir actually that chose a Filipino song as an entry to one of their competition. I don't know the title of the song. What's the title of that song?
Leron Leron Sinta.
Okay. And to be honest with you, it's in Tagalog. They sang it amazingly. It won, apparently. It actually won. I didn't know that. Oh, wrong one. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
That's
Sorry.
what's really keeping you up at night.
I'm so sorry. Let me try to find that real quick.
While you're doing that, have you heard about the Indian billionaire that's got a White House in the sky on top of a skyscraper?
No. What the hell is that?
You go look for that while I share this one with you. Hold on. Let me see if I can. This one, I don't know if this is old or new news or what, but while you're looking for that, I thought I would just share this one with you. Where is that picture of his house? There at the top of a building is a mansion. You see the picture on the right side?
Holy crap.
And they're calling it the
White House. Is this in India?
Like 2 or 3 helipads.
Wow.
So you got a 360-degree view of
the entire
everything.
city. That's awesome.
Like, can I just go to the neighbors and get some brown sugar?
Oh man.
Crazy.
Oh, okay. All right, I found a video if we can.
Yeah, go for it.
So this is that Swedish group that actually sang the Leron Leron Sinta. Hold on one second. There we go. Tell me if you can hear it. All right. I don't know about you, but for some reason I got the chills. I don't know why. I got the chills listening to that. That was just amazing. I mean, I've seen that so many times, and when it gets to that middle part, all the time, I just get caught by it, and I'm like, what the wow.
Yeah. But again, the one that amazes me is that, some folks, I guess, recycled videos, found this one, and then it's just started picking up now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you really look through the original source of the video, I don't remember where I put the link, but yeah, it was up like a year ago. In the contest the one that ran the contest, they have their own channel and it's up there. And I guess that's the original source, and it's been up for at least a year already. The one that I wanted to share with you on the side of that was the version of the Filipino singer singing it. Have you seen that one?
No. Can you share it?
This one's so you saw the Swedish a cappella version.
Yes, that again. Take note. Gave me chills. Okay.
I wanted to share with you just real quick the Filipino singer's version of it.
Okay.
Not as a competition, but just a different take. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Now this video is like 6 years old already, though. But what I wanted to bring up about this video, nothing to do with the singing or the competition that it's I'm comparing it to, but the fact that these guys are just singing like at the lobby of an office, in the Inquirer office. Isn't
Wow.
that so cool? It's just so almost casual, but they're all dressed up in their barong
Well,
Tagalog.
it sounded really good. It sounded really good.
Filipinianas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, the Swedish one is so cute to see, foreigners singing Filipino folk songs.
Right.
But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so if you do look into the a cappella Swedish version, it'd be interesting to look at the Madrigal singers singing it also. I think that's also awesome. So ang galing. There's so many cultural things that we have going on that we could be so proud
Something
of.
definitely to be proud of. Yeah. Something else to be proud of is TVJ wins the Eat Bulaga trademark case.
Didn't we talk about this about a month ago already?
Well, no, they got it. They won it, but it's been finalized.
Like on
You know.
paper finalized?
Like on paper finalized.
So
Tito
now what's
Vic
the
and
deal?
Joey. What-
So now what's the deal? They could change the name of the show to Tito Vic and Joey's Eat Bulaga? Eat Bulaga.
Yeah, so now it's Eat Bulaga. I mean, so I don't know if I should put a clip up in regards to them talking about it finally.
But what did they say? But
So
basically, it's just about the name, though, right?
Yeah, well, it's okay. Okay, all right.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
just about the name. It's the identity of Eat Bulaga itself.
Right.
I don't even know why it had to go this far to begin with. Okay,
True.
there is no Eat Bulaga without Tito Vic and Joey. Even though
True.
they might not have filed it properly by copyright means, whatever.
Right.
Tito Vic and Joey is the staple of Eat Bulaga. It's been over 3 decades. Why can't other people just understand that?
In other words, if I was the one that actually owned the show, if I was tape, I guess maybe the right ethical thing that could have been done was like, you go ahead, take the name with you, but we don't need you anymore.
Exactly.
But go ahead, take the name with
Right.
you.
Right. It's funny you
Parang-
say that.
Parang delikadesa na lang or ano na lang.
Right.
Just honoring the legacy. Go ahead, take the name with you, but we don't want you anymore.
Right. So the other show, the old Eat Bulaga show, there's I guess one of the guys hosts. All right. He went on a rant during the show. I can't remember his name. He has like blonde hair.
One of the new hosts, you mean?
Yeah.
Not Tito Vic and Joey.
No. The new host from the old show in the other channel.
Okay. What was the rant about? What did he?
He's
what
like
was he
saying
basically
that-
saying?
What's his name? I can't remember his name. Shit. But basically, he has like blonde hair. He's basically ranting that, you know what? It is our show. It's still going to be our show. We don't need the title. Yada yada yada. And in the following show, the station network basically told him, "Shut up! Don't say anything." You know, and it was kind of funny, man. I wish I looked. I saved the clip for that one, but they were still. He was still. Some of them in that old show, that old channel, are still adamant that, you know what? It's our show. They took our title, so now their title is something else. I don't know what it is. Who cares? And Tito Vic and Joey, I believe, changed their title back to Eat Bulaga. and they actually
Okay.
own the copyrights for it now. So congratulations to
Nice.
them. You know what I mean?
Nice. So now we can all move on with our lives.
Yes, no more, no more of this, Tito Vic and Joey. I've had enough of that Eat Bulaga battle in regards to the trademark. All done.
Okay, bro, before you go to work this morning,
Yep.
I'm sure you want to get this one out of the way. Gosh, where is that Nazarene thing that you put up a while ago by accident?
Yeah.
I wanted to get that banner out.
It's right there.
You want to put it in? I got the video for you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. So the banner's up. First of all, before you put the video up, actually, yeah, it's actually the exact same video that I have queued to put up.
Yeah, I copy
This
pasted
is
the link.
insane. Insane. Okay.
Bro.
At the
Before I even say anything, before you even get to say anything, can I just say that at least nobody's wearing a mask here anymore.
It's safe now. Okay. It's definitely safe.
I'll play it.
Right. Go ahead.
That's about it, though, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear everything. Yeah.
So, what's your thing? What
So-
did you want to say about this?
First of all, I just saw this because my wife brought it out and pointed it out to me. I've never heard of it. I've never experienced it whatsoever.
That guy's got goosebumps. You mean you've never heard or never seen anything like this before?
I've never heard of this in the Philippines, and I've never seen anything of it, to be honest with you. I just literally, my wife sent it to me last night. We were sitting and watching a movie, and then she sent me the TikTok link. I'm stupid enough to click on it, and then I was like, "What the hell is going on here?" So this is actually Naza. How do you pronounce it again? Nazareno, right? Nazareno.
Yeah, but it's something the Black Nazarene. Yeah.
Yes, it's the Black Nazarene refers to a life-sized dark color statue of Jesus Christ that was brought to Manila, Philippines from Mexico on the 31st of May, 1606 by the first group of Augustinian Recollect friars sent by Spain.
Right.
Okay. So this has been around since 1606 in the Philippines, okay? I don't know, it's in Quiapo Church in Manila. So apparently, once a year, this thing is taken out and it's strolled around the town once a year. Now, it's said or known that those who touch, feel, wipe their clothes or whatever on the statue or the casing or even the rope that's attached to this it gives like healing powers. It heals yours. It has healing powers, supposedly, and people every year flock to this, just like what you've seen, and apparently it gives goosebumps. But it's insane. And it's funny that you said that you don't wear masks anymore. My wife said last night, "Oh, look, they're not wearing masks anymore." So what?
Exactly. Exactly. So meanwhile, my dad's still like, "Oh, don't forget to." I mean, there is like a new strain, and it's better to be safe than sorry.
Right.
But I wouldn't go to me. You guys could get all the blessings that you need. I'll just pray. But I don't want to. I would rather. I don't want to be that one guy in this crowd wearing a mask,
Right.
just trying to be safe than sorry. I'd just rather not go.
I mean, there's not even a chance that you're going to get through it. There's thousands and thousands of people in that puny street.
Yeah.
Thousands. And then what? With everybody jumping at the gun, trying to get a feel even for the rope of this of this thing. Granted, it's a religious thing. I'm not knocking on that. Everybody's got their own beliefs. If they believe they're getting healed by this, so be it. More power to them. It's great that they have their own beliefs. Personally, I would be climbing the fence trying to run away from it because it's just too crowded. It's just way too crowded.
Oh, I just don't want to be caught being that one guy wearing the mask there.
Right.
Doon na lang po ako. Parang ganun. When we went to the city hall the other week, the guard was telling us to wear a mask. And then I was like, pwede ba siya na lang para, just have Christine be the one to go up to office? Because I didn't want to be the one to wear a mask. But I kind of forgot it was my complaint. So I should be the one going up there and not have the lady be the one complaining for me. But yun nga, it's like, for me nowadays, it's like, if I don't have to wear a mask, I wouldn't. But I guess if I have to, I have to. But again, judging a crowd like this, parang I can just wait. It's okay. Okay na lang po. But it must be fun though. I mean, there's gotta be that group euphoric feeling because you're part of that group that you're.
I don't know if this particular case is considered fun for these guys or these people, because these people that flock the streets to try to get a hold or touch this religious thing, I don't think they're all there to try to have fun because I think every single one of those people or every person on that barrage right there is trying to get a feel for this to be able to get something out of them or whatever. Yeah, I don't think they're there for fun.
Yeah.
But knowing Filipinos, they'd probably figure out a way to make fun or to have fun.
Yeah, yun na nga. There's something about it doing a group thing, and
right.
But there's also that sense of desperation. I think with what you said, the reason why they're gathering around is because they want to touch the Nazarene, and it's
Nazarene,
miracle thing that for healing powers and that kind of thing. And reminds me of that time that I was working in this TV show that was helping people out, and there's just this sense of parang desperation that also gets you down. Parang you get this high because you're helping people out, or you're being of service to these people, or you're offering the Nazarene. I guess just liking it if I was the one like offering this Nazarene out. Those guys that carry the statue around. But there's also got to be like a sense of like, gosh, I can't help everybody. I can only help those ones that are here, but the ones that are here are the ones that are like really pushing and shoving. But again, I think the thing to bring up about this parade or this festival is the fact that nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah. That's a good point, because I've never seen anything. The last time I've seen something this crazy, unfortunately, in the Philippines is during the coup d'etat.
That's why it catches your attention,
because of the people power, and I was there, during the people power.
But I think it's also more interesting that you don't know about this. Not that you're supposed to, or not that you should, but it's one of those. It's one of those festivals that it's kind of only the locals also only know about,
right?
Kind of thing, maybe. Is it? Maybe but I say that because I think I personally only found out about this about 5 years ago, more or less, before COVID.
Yeah,
a little bit before COVID.
Possibly. I really don't know. I've never experienced anything like that.
But the first time that I heard about it was also in the news. Na parang, there's something going on like this pala.
Have you actually been to one of those or no?
No. Do I look like I'm one of those people that would go to? I'd be too scared.
You don't have a reason to try to touch it. Try to like cleanse yourself, get rid of the bad juju and the bad aura.
I don't know. I like even when I think it started off with EDSA, and then I was looking at what's going on TV, and everybody's all gathering around. And
what do you mean, EDSA Revolution?
Yeah. EDSA Revolution, and my mom got ahead of me and it's like, oh, we're not going there, huh? don't think about any crazy ideas. We're not going there. So in a sense, like as soon as there's a crowd, I'm already like, parang nagdadalawang isip. I'm already thinking twice about it. It's like, am I going to be part of that?
Right.
Like even on traffic, it's like I see a buildup up front, and it's like, am I going to stick my nose up that guy's butt, or am I going to slow down? That's what I do on the traffic light. If I see that there's like 30 seconds to go, I'm not going to gun it and then try to stop right away. I'm going to slow down, which pisses the guy behind me,
Right.
pisses off the guy behind me because I'm slowing down because I don't want to stop the wheels turning. By the time I get
also,
to the
you're in a
stoplight,
bicycle or you're in a motorcycle. Let's not forget that.
by the time I get to the stoplight, I want it to be green already so that everybody would be going forward. So that's kind of my thing. I'd slow down, seeing the crowd is all stopped or gathered in that intersection. So
Right.
I'm evasive to crowds if I could be. I'm not germophobic or anything like that, but
You know what though? That's like me and my wife now. I think it's because of our age too. Like we going to the mall, we hate it. We just hate it because it's too many fucking people.
Yeah, you mentioned it. But as a survival guide here in the Philippines, may I just say this? If you go to a karinderia, always go to the one that has a lot of people. Although it's so opposite of my instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And Tin was telling me that you go to the place where there's a lot of people because at least you know that the food is turning, the food is moving. If you go to a karinderia or a restaurant that has nobody in there, that means all the food is just gathering dust.
I got so many freaking questions all of a sudden. God damn it! Hold on. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to. We're gonna talk about that particular subject on the next episode, just to let you know, because all of a sudden I got tons of questions that popped up in my head in regards to karinderia and eateries and eating out in the Philippines. That's a good point. You go where there's a lot of people, just not because it might be popular, but the food is constantly being prepared.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
It's always changing, that the food is always moving.
Wow. Guys, I think that it is it for today. Thank you for tuning in. If I may, real quick, show notes to those comments on YouTube. We do take a look at all the comments. We try to reply back. Don't be dismayed by it. Please leave a comment, share, like, and subscribe. We truly appreciate it. But we do reply to all the comments one way or the other. We're just running behind on it, so please be patient and thank you for supporting us.
Day jobs.
Yeah.
Well, one of us.
Definitely.
No, but what was the regular sentiment, or was the regular comment people are reacting to?
Well, they've been reacting on a lot of our shorts as well, about the customer service experience, restaurant experience, the tipping. There's also some comments in regards to me looking like Tiger Woods.
Yeah, we should read those out. We should read the comments. I mean, if we can't address them like one by one, we could at least talk about it on the show.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. We'll
two
get
birds
there
with
eventually.
one. Hit two birds with one stone.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us again. Listen, this is a new setup for us. From now on, all the shows will be coming in the same day for both of us, even though we're in two separate countries. Although I'll be broadcasting in the morning Eastern Standard Time, while Noel in the Philippines will be broadcasting in Philippine nighttime. Wednesdays at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Philippine time, and on Sundays it's the exact same thing. Thank you very much for joining us. Noel, anything to add?
That's it. Thanks for
All right,
being on
guys.
time today.
Oh. All right, guys. Again, this is The Flip Side with Jay and Noel, episode 11, Down the Drain. My name is Jay. Thank you very much.
111, yes.
And that's Noel right there. We'll catch you later.
On the flip side.
Peace out, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. You can catch the full episodes on youtube.com at The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. Full episodes uploaded every Wednesdays and